Jake Weld from Mansfield Hall in Madison, Wisconsin. Jake is also, Mansfield Hall is also a program, not a school, and he will share that with you. Mansfield Hall has two other locations, one in Oregon and one in Vermont. Okay, so he can let you know what this, if there's similarities or differences for those as well. So welcome to Jake, and I'm going to mute myself. And then just as a reminder, if you have questions during the presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I will ask the questions at the end of the presentation. Okay.
Got
Take it away.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for being here and taking the time. I really appreciate you being a part of the conversation. My name is Jake Weld, and I am with both Mansfield Hall and Virtual Hall, which is remote coaching support. Mansfield Hall is residential, academic, social, and independent living skill support for students who are going to college. Like Louisa said, we're not the college, we're not the degree granting institution. We are more like the super dorm. And so students live with us, and while they are living with us, they are having an age appropriate and very authentic collegiate experience. Everybody at Mansfield Hall is a college student. Everybody is going to college. Everybody is taking college classes. Mansfield Hall is providing a residential community where students are able to receive some additional academic, social, executive functioning, and independent living skills support. So again, we're not the college, we are more like the super dorm. We are located in Burlington, Vermont, Eugene, Oregon, and of course, closest to you, Madison, Wisconsin. And we'll talk a little bit about Virtual Hall as we go through, but that's sort of the big picture of what Mansfield Hall is all about. And what we are working on is providing college students a four-core approach to the support. And look, there's nothing new under the sun here. You're going to see a lot of presentations. You're going to hear a lot from organizations, and all of us are doing, in many ways, very similar things. And so the key information is really the differences and how those differences play out for individual students and families. But here's Mansfield Hall's approach. Four-core approach: living, learning, giving, and engaging. And that's really independent life support, academic and executive functioning support, pro-social development, and giving back community service. And so we are a full service, comprehensive living and learning community, which is providing attention and goal setting and progress monitoring and really intentional support in each of these four core areas for college age students. And that can look like a number of different things. In the learning environment, that's really important as a college student. So the support we're providing in the academic environment is that students are working with an academic director and academic coaches. We're providing executive function support, writing support in-house. We are also working very closely with the Office of Student Services at any one of the colleges or universities that our students are attending, and we'll talk more about that. But the work that we are doing is really designed to bridge the gap between home and high school and a highly supportive environment, which can be very adult directed, and the collegiate environment, which is student-directed, adult responsive, right? And so as you and your student are getting ready to transition out of the high school paradigm, where it is the role and goal and responsibility of the adults in your student's life to recognize when they need support, to recognize when they are going to benefit from additional support, and then to activate that support with them, right? That's the paradigm of high school that you're currently in. And you're in a highly supportive, highly skilled educational setting where parents and teachers and coaches and executive functioning and all of that is really like front and center, and people are paying close attention and the adults are activating support. What will transition in the future is that if your student heads off into post-secondary education, there is no longer the onus on the college or university to activate that support. They are required to provide that support when a student asks for it, and that's the accommodations office and the Office of Student Services. But there's nobody on a college campus who is necessarily tasked with monitoring student progress and activating support if students need additional supports. And so that's really where Mansfield Hall fits in, and is the space in between the two, where you've got high school and everything is adult initiated. You've got college where nothing is adult initiated, it's all student initiated. And Mansfield Hall lives in the space for college capable students who may still need some adult initiated supports in any one of these domains. And so to go back to these 4 domains where we are putting our time and attention, learning, living, giving, and engaging, what we are here to do is provide active support for students who might need some additional help accessing the Office of Student Services, talking to their professor, learning how to utilize the supports and services that are on the local college campuses. So one of those core domains is learning and academics and executive functioning. And we are providing all of this academic support and writing support and executive functioning support in a way that is freedom for the student when and as they're able to have it for themselves, but highly supported and still adult activated when a student still needs that. So that's in the learning domain. Living and engaging, that's pro-social development, that's independent living, same things, right? So much of college is not just the academic experience of college, but it's also being socially engaged, managing one's independent living space, right? Whether that's a dorm or apartment. All of these things our students are capable of doing, but they may still need some adult initiated support. They may still need a little bit of a high and tight safety net. They may have really benefited from highly engaged parents or really responsive educational systems at the high school level, and they may just need some additional support as they are trying to spread their wings and become more independent as college students. So where we're providing a lot of the support academically around the writing process and academic services, we are also providing this in independent living and pro-social development. So that's going to be things like culinary instruction, or working with an independent living skills coach, or working with an SLP and providing some social communication support. We're also providing the support around giving and community service. Again, a big part of college is expanding a student's circles of comfort, right? And so, yes, we want them academically engaged. We also want them socially engaged with each other, but also on their college campus. We also want them taking care of their personal space. We also want them building some of the soft skills of employability. So that means things like, working with a supervisor, working in a team environment, working with other people in a shared goal. And a lot of that can be learned and practiced and really honed in community service settings. So our students are getting support in all 4 core areas: living, learning, giving, and engaging, concurrent with enrollment at one of the local colleges. And we can talk a little bit about that as well. But that's sort of Mansfield Hall's 4 core approach. I think all of this makes even more sense when we really talk about who is the Mansfield Hall student, right? And it begins to make even even more sense. So I'm actually going to do this in reverse order. I'm going to talk about this diagnostic profile on the bottom first, and then I'll talk about these 5 core criteria second. But about 65% of Mansfield Hall students would most closely self-identify as being on or around the autism spectrum. Most of our students still are pretty comfortable with that Asperger's diagnosis. I know that that went away officially with the DSM-5. That's still where a number of our families hang their hat, and I think for good reason. I think that there's still a lot of descriptive value in that Asperger's diagnosis, but that can include NLD, PDD-NOS, ASD level 1, or no diagnosis at all, maybe social communication disorder. But that's about 65% of our students. About 15% of our students would more closely self-identify with what we used to call high functioning autism. These are students who still fit under what we now call ASD level 1. And they're not acting out, they're not melting down, they're not struggling with externalized behavioral challenges, but these students might be a little bit more on visibly on the autism spectrum, right? A little bit more apraxic speech, a little bit more stereotype behavior. Students who from across the street, you might say, oh, I wonder if that young woman is autistic. And you might be right. She might also be on a $20,000 scholarship in the physics department. Those things are not mutually exclusive. So that's about 15% of our students. The remaining 20% of our students are probably in a lot of ways run very parallel to the typical Cove School student profile. That's students who might have an identified language-based learning difference like dyslexia. They may have challenges with working memory or processing speed, or they may just be students who are really looking for a highly supportive living and learning community in order to support this transition away from home and high school and into college and independence. And so that's a solid 20% of our students. 5 core criteria for admissions, that diagnostic profile really provides a bit of a skeleton, but to flesh it out a little bit more and to paint a little bit deeper picture of who our students are. Number 1, our students are nice, thoughtful, kind. It's our number 1 criteria for enrollment. We're fortunate enough to be able to be picky. If we can be picky about anything, we might as well be picky about being nice. It seems like a really good place to start when you're building a community. So number 1, our students are nice. Number 2, they're college capable. All of our students are in college. All of our students are pursuing formal post-secondary education. That can include students who are on a $20,000 scholarship in the physics department at the University of Wisconsin. That might also include students who we think are going to take 3 or even 4 years to do an associate's degree at the community college level. And that's okay, but that's really the bookends. And everybody else is somewhere in the middle. But all of our students are ready to pursue formal post-secondary education in a formal setting with support. That's why they're with us, but they're ready to be on a college campus and comport themselves as such. They're ready to pursue formal post-secondary education. So number 1, they're nice. Number 2, they're college capable. Number 3, given that bell curve, they're quirky or at least quirky compatible. You don't have to be quirky to be cool at Mansfield Hall, but at Mansfield Hall, you got to be cool with quirky. We love our quirky students. We own it. We lean into it, really front and center about it. And we really want to make sure that we are creating a living and learning community where students can feel very comfortable about being exactly who they are as they are in the process of becoming who they will be. And so being quirky and quirky compatible and nice are all really key components of all of that. Our students are community oriented. They're going to benefit from and contribute to life in a living and learning community. That does not mean our students are dyed-in-the-wool extroverts. Certainly some are, but you don't have to be. And it does not necessarily mean that our students are always as socially fluent as they are socially curious. That's why we're providing support in the areas of social cognition and navigating social pragmatics of life on college. But students who are socially motivated and are ready to work in a relationally based model is important. We are a relationally based living and learning community, and we are a centralized service delivery model. So what that means is that student housing, staff offices, community space, study space, meals, hangout space, it's all in one space. It's all under one roof. It's all in one community. And so being connected with our students and our students with each other is a real key element to what Mansfield Hall has to offer. And that relationally based, community-based model is really important in the centralized service delivery model. Now, Mansfield Hall is right in the heart of three amazing college towns: Burlington, Vermont, Madison, Wisconsin, Eugene, Oregon. And our students are in the heart of what we would, what we identify as the undergraduate housing district. So you walk out the front door from Mansfield Hall and you're in the heart of a collegiate experience. You walk right in with all the other college students. There is no separation from that traditional college experience. But within Mansfield Hall, students have this comprehensive living and learning community that's the centralized service delivery model. So our students are nice, they're college capable, they're quirky or at least quirky compatible, they're community oriented, and they're ready, willing, and able to work in a coaching model. We're not a therapeutic program. This is not a clinical approach. This is not a behavioral approach. Our students are, they're college age students. They're ready to be pursuing formal post-secondary education, and they are ready to partner with helping professionals in this pursuit. So they are working closely with an academic director and a director of student life and an independent life skills coach and a writing instructor and all of these supports that go into those four core domains. And that is based in this coaching relationship where we are doing goal setting, progress monitoring, course correction, and feedback as needed in order to really facilitate a successful collegiate experience for college age students. So this is a fundamentally a partnership between students, helping professionals, and families in order to help students set and achieve their own collegiate goals. As that plays out in Madison, Wisconsin, we've got 3 colleges that students are attending, really 4, actually. We've got the University of Wisconsin, which requires students to formally apply and formally be admitted. So if Mansfield Hall plus the University of Wisconsin is the goal, then that means students are going to go through that very traditional college application process. They're going to get in, we do an off-campus housing waiver, we do a reduced course load, they start living with us, but they're taking classes there. It's no big deal. Now, all of the other schools that we work with in Madison and in Burlington and Eugene offer open enrollment. So Madison College, which is the local community college, Edgewood, which is a little private liberal arts school, and Herzing University, which is an online school, all offer open enrollment to students. So what that means is that students can register for classes as a non-matriculated student. They don't have to formally apply. They don't have to be formally admitted, but they are taking 4 credit classes for transferable credits. This is real college. This is not auditing, but they're able to take college classes at any one of these schools and build these skills and practice how to college while they are busy colleging, to use a noun as a verb. So Mansfield Hall is all about learning how to be a successful college student while you are on a college campus and taking college classes and in a collegiate environment. Madison, Wisconsin, those are the 4 schools. Burlington, Vermont, we're working with the University of Vermont, Champlain College, and the Community College of Vermont. In Eugene, Oregon, we're working with the University of Oregon. We're working with Lane Community College and also Bushnell University. So lots of different options and lots of different ways to utilize Mansfield Hall. Mansfield Hall can be utilized as a slow and supported start to college. If a student knows that, one of our locations is where they'd like to be in school, Mansfield Hall can also be utilized as an academic residential gap year. So a student can apply to their college of choice, get in, and defer for a year, and then utilize Mansfield Hall as a way to really practice some of those independent skills and academic skills before they then leave Mansfield Hall and head off to their college of choice. For some students, the decision really centers around a school of choice. They really want to go to Edgewood College, but they know they're going to benefit from the support of something like Mansfield Hall. For other students, they're college curious and they want to explore what might be out there, but they know they're going to need help in doing it. So there's a lot of different ways that Mansfield Hall can fit into a student's post-secondary plans. And there's a lot of different ways that we can make that work academically, in part because of this non-matriculated access point, that students don't have to formally apply and be admitted to a local school in order to start with Mansfield Hall. So, the other piece that I said I would talk really briefly about is Virtual Hall. Virtual Hall is our remote college coaching support. So Virtual Hall is non-residential, and we're providing 3-4 hours a week to students, providing some academic support, college life coaching, academic coaching. The goal is, Mansfield Hall transparently is the most for the most solution, right? We're the full Monty. We're all of it. It is fully residential. It's academic and social and independent living in a comprehensive residential living and learning community with wraparound services in all areas of a student life. Virtual Hall is the most for the least approach. So Virtual Hall is 3 or 4 hours of remote coaching, like what we're doing right now. We're connecting with students via video conference for a couple hours a week, helping with some executive functioning coaching, helping with some writing support, helping serve as a sounding board and as a bit of a director to remind them of the on-campus supports that are available, and sort of stepping in and filling in a gap that maybe a parent might have been filling in when a student was at home. But Virtual Hall is very much a most for the least approach. Again, kind of 3 hours a week of light touch points. Students can be going to college anywhere in the country and be working with our academic remote coaches. It's certainly in the same model of the coaching that we are known for at Mansfield Hall, and that's this sort of multi-domain coaching model. But it is not in no way is it designed to be or created as a stand-in or a replacement for what the residential experience at Mansfield Hall can provide. That fully immersive residential experience provides 10 times the amount of staff interaction, student interaction, community interaction, real-time in vivo coaching, all of that comprehensive wraparound community support that Mansfield Hall provides. Virtual Hall is really designed to provide just a very light touch of academic and college life coaching from afar. So that's a real brief flyby on what Virtual Hall is. But here is my contact information. I see that there might be some questions up in the chat. And so I want to give some time for that. And I want to leave at least a couple of quick questions. So I can see in Madison, let's see, what colleges do our students attend in Madison? University of Wisconsin, if they formally apply and have been accepted, Edgewood College, Madison College, which is MATC, Madison Area Technical College. It's the local community college. Don't let the name fool you. It is a comprehensive community college environment. So they've got a full liberal arts track. They've got a parallel entry track into the University of Wisconsin, where students can track right into the University of Wisconsin. And this coming year, the 2022-23 school year, we are launching Tech Connect, which is a partnership with Herzing University. We are partnering with them on two very specific tech-oriented degrees, credentials, or degrees in software development and network administration. And Herzing University is also based in Madison, Wisconsin. So those are the four schools in Madison. We certainly work with students on managing finances. That falls solidly into that independent living skill domain. And we're small enough that this can be individualized, and we're big enough that we've seen it all, and we have a unified approach. So in Madison, we're working with roughly 25 students residentially. In Burlington, Vermont, we're working with 45 students residentially. In Eugene, Oregon, we're working with about 25 students residentially. So lots of systems in place, lots of sort of formal approaches in the way in which we work with students. We're very much rooted in universal design for learning, motivational interviewing, collaborative problem solving, and certainly restorative justice when and as needed. And all of this is based around this comprehensive coaching model, and that certainly includes the independent living skills of managing personal finances. Cost does not include the cost of the local colleges. So at Mansfield Hall, the all-in number is right around $75,000 for a year. That year covers almost 11 and a half months. So students arrive for a comprehensive Bridge to College summer orientation program that rolls right into fall and spring semester. And then they finish off that first year with a comprehensive supported internship program. All told, that's 11 and a half months of programming. Families make an independent financial relationship with their college or university of choice. And they are starting out as part-time students. So they are not falling under the FAFSA umbrella, but they are eligible to utilize 529 college savings funds, both for the colleges and for Mansfield Hall. There's also some tax savings benefits because we're using a medical model of admissions where we're reading neuropsychs and making informed decisions in that sense. So you can get some tax savings on the back end. Kelly's got a question here about living in the residences. So our residence is staffed from 7 a.m. until 11 at night, and with full professional staff, and on-call staff is available 24/7. So we are always on call. We're in the community. We're a part of our students' lives, and our students are college students, and they're ready to be college students. So being independent in that space and not necessarily needing 24/7 supervision is a part of that college readiness aspect. And yet we are providing staffing from 7 a.m. until 11 at night, including a lot of door knocking and reminders, and really being there to, again, help provide that adult initiated support where it's needed, but also to provide that freedom and space and autonomy where a student is ready for it. And I've talked for 29 minutes. So Louisa, I'm going to stop here. Anything to add or anything I'm missing?
No, that was great. That was very comprehensive. Thank you so much, Jake. And if you're willing to share your presentation with me, then I can share it with families who request it from me in the future. And we did record your presentation, so we have several families who were unable to attend but want to view it later. So thank you again. Thank you for everything. And I'll be seeing you in Madison.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for having me. Good luck. Enjoy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. So everyone. Our next presenter is already joined us, but I'm gonna pause just for one moment and stop the recording so I can start it again. And we will get started in just a moment. Jake is gonna unshare, hopefully. Oh,
I think I have.
you're still on our screens. Oh, there
There
you
we
go.
go. Did I unshare now?
Yep, thank you.
There we go. Perfect.
All
Louisa,
right.
thanks so much for having me. Good luck today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's great. Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch. Take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
okay, bye.